Today we'll discuss how to nurture good suppliers by learning from Toyota's procurement policy and the KEIRETSU Strategy. Hi, this is Magnigami, Lean Sigma Black Belt. We'll start from this video request. Would you make a video about this question? How does Toyota select the suppliers and find the best? Radwig, thank you very much for your request. I think that we'll actually look at how to nurture suppliers rather than how to select suppliers. Toyota is an automobile manufacturing company, but in fact, it purchases most parts and assembles them. So the price and quality of the finished product are largely dependent on the result of purchasing prices and quality. In 1937, soon after Toyota was founded, incoming President Kiichiro Toyoda made a purchasing guideline policy consisting of 14 articles, and Toyota is continuing in that spirit even now. Since the answer to today's question is in Article 4, I will talk about it. Article 4. Pay special attention to selection of your suppliers. Always keep yourself open to many directions and study whether there are other excellent suppliers. As a general rule, you should have 2 suppliers for each part as much as possible. It's very reasonable to have 2 suppliers for each part. If you have only 1 supplier when they can't supply the part, you'd be in trouble. If you have 2 suppliers, you can always compare quality and cost among them. Not having 3 or more suppliers is based on their belief prosper together and the KEIRETSU strategy, which we'll discuss later. A good long trust relationship with their suppliers gives Toyota high quality and success. Article 4 continues. However, in case of unavoidable circumstances, you can have 1 or 3 suppliers with your manager's permission. If you have only 1 supplier, make effort to select the right supplier as soon as possible. You can see that they try to ensure having 2 suppliers for each part systematically. Article 4 continues. In the case of 3 or more suppliers, you are allowed to decrease order quantities from suppliers with high prices and high defects, especially paying attention so as not to cause other existing suppliers trouble as much as you can. This is a very rational procurement policy. I wonder what do those parts manufacturers think about that. A research firm in the US conducts a survey every year on parts manufacturers to see how they evaluate their automobile companies. Let's see the result of the survey. The result is called the Supplier Working Relations Index. The red line is Toyota. Honda had the top place in 2009 and 2010, but other than that, Toyota is always ranked first in the US. What is the reason for that? That Toyota buy parts for the highest price? That's not true. Regarding prices, Toyota is one of the toughest purchasers. Let's explore why their reputation with the parts manufacturer is so high. We can learn the secret from this book, The Toyota Way by Jeffrey Riker, that I've introduced in other videos. Toyota reviews new suppliers cautiously and gives them only very small orders. They must prove their sincerity and commitment to Toyota's high-performance standards for quality, cost, and delivery. If they demonstrate this for early orders, they will get increasingly larger orders. Every company wants to reduce their purchasing costs, but if your customer suddenly changed their supplier from you to your competitor because of their cheap price, it's painful to you. We cannot build a good trust relationship with a company that often does such practices. Toyota never do that. Conversely, they value their existing vendors very highly. All that Toyota could offer was the opportunity for all partners to grow the business together and mutually benefit in the long term. So, like the associates who work inside Toyota, suppliers became part of the extended family who grew and ran the Toyota production system. For example, Toyota has realized just-in-time, which is producing or procuring the right items at the right time in the right amount using the Kanban system. The arrivals from part manufacturers will be the start of just-in-time, but they cannot hold a lot of inventory there. Therefore, Toyota requires that their vendors not only have good price and high quality, but also just-in-time delivery. Delivery several times a day is common for them. For parts manufacturers, if they do such things as normal practice, there is no profit. This is a great point in Toyota. They send the Toyota production system experts to their vendors and conduct Kaizen projects, then help the vendors improve their processes to become profitable. What's more amazing is that Toyota utilizes the experience of improvement activities with the vendors to improve themselves. In this way, Toyota has been establishing good trust relationship with their partner companies and has continued its strategy to learn and grow together since its founding. From Japanese word, we call the strategy the KEIRETSU Strategy. Thank you very much for viewing. Please click the subscribe button. Also, click and watch my other related videos. Thanks.